What's going on, my planting people? I'm Lithius, this is Roots Ready, and this is my Ikea Hyllis grow tent. Now, I've had this thing for a little while now, maybe over a year or so. It's been doing fantastic, but since then, I don't think I've actually given you a proper tour of this grow tent and what is inside. So let's rectify that today and let's have a look inside. So here is your first look at the Hyllis grow tent. Okay, so let's start on this top shelf to see what we've got going on over here, and we'll start in this corner right over here underneath this little cup. Let's move this out of the way. I've just watered them, so some of the plants are still a bit wet. The first plant that you will see is this anthurium. You wouldn't be able to tell exactly what it is because it's so small. I got it as a seedling. I only had like one leaf on it. It's growing slowly but surely. This is in fact an anthurium wenderili, however you pronounce it. It's that wonderful strap leaf anthurium that's well known for the corkscrew inflorescence. It's very small. It's not really doing much. I've tried to top it up with some moss just to encourage some more roots to grow. We'll see how that goes. In the back over here, in this little grow baggy, providing extra humidity, you will see right here, there you go, right inside of this. I won't take it out now because this plant is so finicky. This is my anthurium regal. Now this plant it's been quite tumultuous. If I'm being honest, there's a lot of ups and downs, but finally it looks to be stable. We've got these beautiful new leaves coming in, that deep dark red, so that's really exciting. Over here, both of these plants I propagated by hand and grew these out. So this is a hybrid, I believe, of my anthurium forgetii. No, this is not a hybrid. This is actually self-pollinated. Now, I did sell a whole load of my other anthurium seedlings. The reason I kept this one was because of this, which appears to be some sort of variegation. So I want to grow this out. Even this one has a little bit of it. I want to grow this plant out to see what that looks like. So I decided to keep this one. This over here is most definitely a hybrid between my forgetii and my larger anthurium magnificum cross regal. This one actually grew on the mad rag as a seedling. I had a very low yield on both of these, so I kept it because it's quite interesting. Because I had a low yield as well, I just wanted to see kind of how it grows in. It does have a very interesting leaf shape. Definitely gives me more of that sort of mad rad sort of style in there. And then this one over here is just very small, not really doing much. So we'll see where that goes. Over here is a really poorly looking philodendron patriciae. This is one of the cuttings that I got to replace the one that passed away. Unfortunately, this one doesn't seem to be doing very well, although, you know, I don't know that, you know, some of the leaves are dying off, but it's still looking like it may have some life. So we'll just leave it in here and we'll see what happens. These two are my Stephania. This is the Stephania erectica. I can't ever pronounce that thing. This was actually the very first plant that I ever filmed on my Roots Ready channel. Go check it out. We've come a long way. This plant is still kicking. It's still doing amazing. Also growing it in pon, which for me was the only way I was able to get this thing to root, and it's continued to produce leaves every single summer. It does die back in the winter. And that's very similar to the other Stephania over here, which is the Stephania nova. Absolutely beautiful. Gives these massive sort of dinner plate leaves. Really do enjoy growing both of these plants. Over here is another propagation. Again, I won't take this out, but when I did the sort of the saving of my anthurium radicans cross luxurians, I actually took one of the cuttings because it was quite a long stem, and I stuck it in some moss, placed it in this bag, and under my grow light we'll see what happens. Over here are some cuttings of some Hoya. Hopefully these will root. So this is the Velosa, another one over here. This is a CV Jennifer, I believe. We'll see how that goes. I did a video on this recently, so this is where they're staying. In the back over here, just this small one. I'm sure you can tell exactly why I kept this plant. Again, this is one of the seedlings from my forgetii. I've kept it because of the amazing leaf texture. Look how bubbly that is. That is absolutely gorgeous. And it's similar reason why I kept this one over here as well. This is another one, very, very interesting looking for Getty Eye. Had to keep this one. However, you can see there's a little bit of light damage here. I'm not sure what caused these leaves to be damaged, but it's still kicking. The leaves are getting bigger and stronger, so that's super, super exciting. Back here, this leaf right here, this is the last one standing of my Hoya. I forgot what it's called. Completely forgot. I think it's the latifolia. So this is the last one standing, so hopefully this roots. We'll see what happens with that. Over here is a hybrid of I believe it's a Luxurians cross for Getty Eye, actually. Really, really looking great. Also got some new growth coming in at the bottom over there. In the back over here is a desert rose. Stuck this in here during the winter because they do tend to drop their leaves when the weather gets a bit colder. So I decided to stick it in here, and it's right next to this. This was a Philodendron Bowmark Fantasy. It's seen better days. It's seen better days. So that's everything on the top shelf. And with that said, let's move it on down to the bottom. Let's see what we have to play with. Let's start right here in the back. This is my Anthurium Peltagrim. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at this big leaf. Got a little bit of yellow in over here. Not exactly sure why that is. Might be a humidity thing. However, we have another one at the back here, looking amazing as ever. Just absolutely gorgeous. To be fair with you, this thing tends to dry up quite quickly, so it is quite thirsty. So definitely this spring, I'm gonna have to give it a bit of a repot, a little bit of a bigger pot, just so that it can continue to grow and maybe not dry out as quickly. So that's that one over there. Over here we have the Fucatum, Anthurium Fucatum. I've spoken about this plant before on my annual plant awards. This plant took home the hardest plant to care for award, and it it hasn't gotten any easier, I'll tell you that. So we're still in the same position. This was a new leaf. You can see it's already dying. However, if we come down here, you can see that we have a new leaf that may emerge or may not. We'll see about that. Over here is my Queen Anthurium, the Anthurium Warpianum. That's looking okay. The top leaves are looking nice and healthy. The bottom ones maybe fade in. To be fair, this is the first time I've had an Anthurium and had it hold on to so many leaves. Usually it holds on to maybe the top 2 or 3 and then they start to drop off. So the fact that although they're yellowing, they do look like this, I'm very, very happy with that. Underneath the Queen Anthurium, we have a couple of hopeful rescues that I'm hoping to save. So this unfortunate looking thing, this box of sticks, this is my Philodendron Bilietiae. It's just for whatever reason decided to take a downward spiral. So I've tried to save it. You can see all the leaves are gone. It was quite big, quite lush. Unfortunately, this is where we are with this one. Don't know if this is gonna be saved, but we'll keep trying. And right here in the back, we have another rescue that I'm trying to save. This was the Philodendron Hesperocraspodon. To be fair, it still has some green, so they might be saving this after all. I'm not sure what happened here. It just all of a sudden went downhill, and I'm trying to save it. In the back over here, and I'm just noticing this now, we have a new leaf. So in this baggie over here are my cuttings of my Anthurium cutacuense. I won't dig them out now. I'm going to leave them in here, but I'm very surprised to see that there are now some large leaves in here. So that's exciting. Talking of the Anthurium cutacuense, we have the largest cutacuense over here, and it's got a gorgeous new leaf that is emerging. Look at that. So that's going to unfurl and that's going to look amazing. I actually stuck it on one of my makeshift moss poles. I find with these plants this is absolutely crucial to promoting that larger leaf size and to keep that maturity going. Looking incredible. Really like this plant. And over here is the Pisterescence. Is that how you say it? In any case, this is the big boy. This is my Philodendron Spiritus Sancti. Look at this thing. looking okay. I can't say it's looking great. It is fine. I've just noticed that in the winter, the growth is pretty much none. I haven't had any new growth on this plant. Whereas in the summer, I was getting maybe a leaf and a half a month. It was really rapid, but it's really, really slowed down. So that's meant that I've also had to slow down on the watering. And that concludes the tour of the Ikea Hyllis grow tent. So that's it. Let me know if there were any big surprises in that grow tent. Was there anything that you were expecting? Is there anything that's doing a lot better than you thought? Anything that's not doing as well as you thought? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, keep planting.